Once you understand how the all creates, you will hold your ego dear and near to you. Let me explain. From the book The Kabbalion, which is based on the ancient Hermetic philosophy, out of which most modern philosophies and religions borrow, talks about the 7 Hermetic principles. Basically 7 laws governing existence in its entirety. I will make a video about all 7 principles soon, but here we need to understand just one principle. That is, the principle of gender. Yes, gender is not just a physical thing. As the Hermetic wisdom states, gender manifests on all planes or dimensions of existence. All the way till the monad or the Godhead. As above so below is another Hermetic maxim, which explains that existence tends to mirror its operative mechanics at all levels. Macrocosm and microcosm. I digress. Basically, gender is not a male and female thing alone. It operates on the laws of chaos and order, creation and maintenance. The all is basically, for the lack of better description, a living mind. In that living mind exists imagination and focus. The all focuses on a desire by imagining it. And it is made manifest. Now applying the Hermetic maxim of as above so below, as within so without. We, the individualized aspects of the all, have a mind. In modern understanding we know that our brain has 2 hemispheres. The left hemisphere is the masculine side. The logical brain, focused on survival, planning, logic. The right hemisphere, the feminine side. The emotional and creative brain, focused on imagination, empathy and feelings. The ego operates the left hemisphere as it is only interested in your survival. Your higher self doesn't reside just in your right hemisphere per se, but you can regard the right side as the side which does not deal with logic. So, by very definition, it is capable of creating that which exists outside the realm of logic. That is imagination. If employed well, the imaginative man can create anything. But as I preface this video with the Hermetic wisdom, stating that, as above so below, and the principle of gender. God creates via imagination, but with perfect focus. We on the other hand, have flimsy focus at best. And at worst, we have a brain scrambled like eggs. Therefore, we create chaos, since we do not have our imagination in control. The feminine principle seeks containment and order, from the masculine principle, always. Any man who has held a long-term relationship with a lady knows that ladies require men to bring order to their chaos. This is why there are so many memes and videos about ladies not able to decide what to eat and where to eat. Not because they are not capable of deciding. But ladies, by the very fact that they are females, have less masculine energy as compared to man. Therefore, order, safety, decision-making, crisis management, compartmentalization and being a provider are very sought-after traits that ladies love in a man. Now this is a generalized statement, and there are women who are extremely calculated and have mastered the masculine mind to a degree that they can operate perfectly well with it. Nonetheless, the principle of gender is in full effect in men and women. And to deny it would only portray foolishness at best and arrogance at worst. Now, on to the topic of this video. There are too many videos advocating the eradication of the ego or the ego death. Ego is being deeply demonized and misunderstood. My point of view regarding the ego also lacked depth when I started this channel. But as I continue to know myself on deeper levels, I understand that ego is required to decide what I want in this life. Ego is quite literally the focus principle that is absolutely needed to manifest from the chaotic imagination that which you want. Hence, you don't need to kill your ego, you need to train it. It is your focus that is in shambles. That is, you cannot concentrate on your desired end for 30 seconds without losing yourself in the endless mental circus. You see, imagination if not controlled manifests chaos and that which you do not desire to experience. But do you not imagine horrible things about you and the world on the daily? Be honest with yourself, do you not belittle yourself? Do you not say to yourself that you are not good enough, unworthy, unlovable? When you indulge in that, do you not imagine scenarios where what you say to yourself plays out? Well, before you are masculine and feminine energies, you are spirit. Just like the Godhead is spirit and stillness first. That is, God is existence and the container for existence. Only after that does the principle of gender manifest itself. Similarly, you are spirit first and foremost. This is why you are the observer of your ego and your imagination. Consequently, you can reject your ego's unfavorable ideas and you can reign in your imagination as well. Now the reason why there is so much content regarding ego death is because ego is running the show in most people's life. The masculine principle has a chokehold on the life of most people. And they are not aware of the stillness or the observer within. Nor do they have any control over their imagination. And what is the result of that? Suffering. Most people are suffering by the hands of their ego, therefore, they want to kill it. But the entire point of this life is to live as man. God is playing a game called man. Well, man is trying to get enlightened so bad because he cannot deal with his ego, which is causing him suffering. Now knowing that you are spirit first, and spirit is already all that is. It is already enlightened, whatever that word even means. The all is in all and is all. As the Kabbalion states. So, to end suffering, you do not kill the ego, nor do you desperately try to get enlightened. Instead, you ascend as man, becoming your ideal version. Because that is the entire point of this life. The feminine principle requires the guidance and supervision of the masculine principle to function. So, ego is just that, a tool to direct your experience. It is necessary to find out what you truly want. Then the job of the ego is over, but it becomes controlling and smothers the imagination and doesn't let it do its job. Only the feminine principle can bring life or materialize something from nothing. So, the masculine principle in its desperate attempt to control how things unfold puts a stop to the unfolding instead. God became man so that man may become God, said Neville Goddard. You the man, when in control of your ego and imagination by being the observer, are equal to the gods. As Hermes said, man is given the gift of speech and mind, which makes him equal to the immortals. You see, you are spirit who has an ego and imagination. The spirit is having an experience of being in a physical body with a mind. The mind has two distinct energies working in it. The masculine and feminine principles. Men are suffering because they have let the masculine principle run amok. Therefore, the order principle is lost in men. Causing the feminine principle, that requires containment from the masculine, to become far more chaotic than the world can stomach. And as the feminine principle breathes life into the void of existence. That is, imagination creates. Man is manifesting hell on earth. For himself and all around him. So, killing the ego, kills the human experience. That's defeating the whole purpose. It is like cooking a meal to satisfy your hunger and then throwing it in the bin without taking a single bite. You are here to join the two and ascend as one. Become the best woman or man that you can imagine. Reach heights of the human experience only limited by your own imagination. But since man has little to no control over his imagination, due to ego dominating his experience, he has no control over his life. Therefore, he seeks relief. But the goal is to be man, and the best man you can possibly be. So, can you see how absurd it is to kill the ego and seek escape into some spiritual realm from where you literally came to play this game in the first place? So, what do you do then? It is simple, ego is just a mental construct, so create a new one. An ego that aligns with your desires. An ego that says automatically that you are worthy, lovable, and enough. You do that by understanding that you are not the ego, you have an ego. You are the spirit who is aware of the ego. Once you understand that, you can mold your ego into an ideal template. A self-concept that is so empowering that it naturally and automatically imagines your desired end. If you build a self-concept that you always have more than enough money, you will automatically imagine money flowing towards you from various channels. You will automatically feel yourself to be abundant. And as I said, the feminine principle materializes that which is impressed upon it by the masculine principle. In modern psychology we have just labeled masculine principle as the conscious mind and the feminine principle as the subconscious mind. Christ said, "Again I say unto you, that if two of you shall agree on earth concerning anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them by my Father who is in heaven." Matthew 18:19. Now we can all agree that no one wants cancer to remain on earth, right? But it still exists. And there are so many terrible things that majority of mankind wishes to disappear, yet here we are. So clearly, Christ is once again using allegory to refer to the spiritual man in you. Christ is revealing to the spirit that once you can form an agreement between the two hemispheres in you, it will manifest. When the masculine holds focus on the desired end and imagination works upon it till it feels real, it is done. When the conscious mind accepts a new idea to be true for you and doesn't look for proof, but employs imagination to feel the reality of what you have accepted as true, and doesn't waver, it shall be done for you by my Father who is in heaven. This is why I said, you must build your self-concept. Building anything requires diligence, persistence and sticking to the blueprint. As it is about focus. Can you focus and persist in your ideal version in imagination without wavering every 30 seconds? That was and is your one and only task. Everything else is truly automatic. You don't make anything happen, the Father who art in heaven does all the work. You are to choose. But since most men are slaves to their ego which was formed on autopilot, we choose wrong. And then we suffer. Therefore, we seek escape from this experience, declaring it to be hell. When Christ said, "The kingdom of heaven is within you." Heaven and hell are a choice in the mind. Whatever you choose, the feminine principle will bring it into your experience. That is the law. So, take accountability of your ego and imagination. Identify first as the spirit, the stillness that you really are. Then operate the tools that you have in the form of two hemispheres of your brain optimally. And watch how harmoniously goodness unfolds in your life. You are already so-called enlightened. And there is really nowhere else to go, as you are one with all that is. This is your temporary experience to ascend as man. You can do it while you suffer in man-made hell, or you can do it while bathing in the glory of the kingdom of heaven. The choice is yours.